Um, okay. Alright, we'll try a different map. So yeah, I'm currently recording this locally too, so if my connection does go down and my upload tanks for whatever reason, I will probably just stay offline, and we'll see about uploading the game afterwards, depending how it goes. A lot of technical issues tonight. It sucks. But that's how it goes sometimes. Hey, Bluezer, good to see you. We'll play GDI this time. Screw it. So yeah, if you haven't seen this before, Bluezer, this is the Tiberian Odyssey. It's currently in alpha mode. Developers are working to try and get it pushed out by the end of this year. You can see the updates and access to all the links regarding it there in chat. So if you want to, I would definitely bookmark that and check in every once in a while. There's also links to their Discord channel on that too, which is pretty nice. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. We'll try GDI this time. This one seems fun. It's got a 1v1 map, only one way between the two bases, and then of course you have access to the things around the back. There's no cliffs or anything, so you can either send naval yards and show off some of those ships, or you can use MLRSs and like glide them across the water. We're going to have a GDI mirror matchup this time, so we'll see how that goes. Should be interesting. This map, because of the way it's kind of laid out, like there's no complicated base crawls or anything. So similar to Nod, you can see different model that they have for it. It's pretty cool. There's a power plant. We get our racks and then a refinery. So here's a racks. Get the refinery up. Accidentally blocked off access to my blue tib there. That's fine. So we get some troopers. These are like minigunner equivalents. I'm on the top. I know, a little bit disorientated just with everything else that's been going on today. Figure out what my spawn is. Okay, so he's here, over towards the left. So I have Tib back here, Tib in the middle. And something is firing at something already. That's probably fine, nothing to worry about. Okay, Lunak's gonna get full vision of my base here. It's always nice. For him. Not so much for me. He's going to be having these bridges blocked off at this point. Not quite sure. He's got dischargers force firing on the bridges. That's what all the noise is. Don't think he doesn't have destructible bridges on for this map, so you can choose to have them on or off. So he's not going to be able to blow it up, but it is going to be quite annoying in terms of trying to get stuff across it. What I'm going to want to do is tech up straight to radar so I can get some MLRSs, because trying to come across this bridge is just going to be an absolute nightmare. So we'll try to go straight for MLRS tech. Possibly we'll get the naval yard too, show off some of the GDI C units. It's a setting.
Construction. Construction options. Building.
Yeah.
Construction complete.
While all the noise was about. Alright, so we'll get a second refinery, a safer one back here. Here's our first hover MLRS. You're going to be able to shoot, he has a minigunner here. Slip through. I can kind of Q move him around, see if he can see what's happening in his base. It's a little bit worrying, he's got vision of my base, I don't have vision of his, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll see if I can get more refinery set up. Nice thing with this map is you can place your MLRSs both sides of this bridge too, so they can be doing some pretty hefty damage. He's currently destroying the structures up here, so he can move his Conyard up to it, which is a pretty good idea. You can deploy your Conyard here and get a better ref. But I found in the couple of missions that I have done that doing that ends up leaving your construction yard very exposed, so you have to move back if you're going to do it. Here we can see the next base. He's got his Conyard, he's already moved it up here. He's getting the nicer ref. It's pretty cool. You see he's coming out here with some of the, what do they call again? Ares units. So some of the Titans coming out. I'm gonna cancel these MLRSs till I get this third ref up. Nice. Next we're gonna go for what are we gonna go for? Advanced Comm Center. Sounds good. He doesn't have a lot of units, but he has some. I'll put my MLRSs just by the bridge to get kind of decent-ish map control. These won't be able to shoot down, I'll be able to shoot up. As far as I know, the MLRS outranges the Ares too, so even if the Ares wanted to, it couldn't necessarily hit me. As you see, build space a little bit limited. I'm kind of worried that he's going to come at me with a huge naval force if I'm not careful. Okay, so is there going to be low power? No? We're going to be okay? So we got our advanced comm center down, which gives you access to disruptors. So I'll get a couple of those to help come across the bridge. Interestingly, I can try snipe his harvester up here. I didn't know it could reach all the way up to here, so that's kind of nice. So we get those disruptors up, so we have at least a bit of land for us in case he tries to push across the bridge, but I think we'll be okay. So this is kind of nice. We get a... So after your advanced comm center, you can get the command center as the next tech structure. Here's a disruptor. Might be able to get this all the way across the bridge. Lunak doesn't have much. He's got a couple of MLRSs, but he's kind of worried about trying to control this, so he's moving them over to this side of the island. Don't necessarily need to engage this, so I shouldn't. Disruptor though will be able to make quick work of this if I manage to get it before he sees. Now he can opt to move this. Don't think he's gonna. Oh, he's gonna see it. Oh yeah. There's no sound. You couldn't hear it really firing there either, so that is definitely something to know. So the command center, we'll stick it here. And this will give me access to the Atlas Assault Pod, which is like our mammoth tank. You also have access to a couple of jump jet infantry, which I'm going to get. He doesn't have much anti-air. I think the MLRS can shoot up, but that's about it. He's now having his revenge, doing exactly what I did to him. I don't really have any cash at this point, so I'm going to have to sell this and get some hover MLRSs up. What might be worth getting is the Firestorm turret. We'll see if this can reach these guys. Probably not. Or at least if they do, it's going to be tight. So we'll see if we can send this guy to his Conyard. Do a little bit more harassment. Don't think... Well, we'll see here what happens. Yeah, so these can't shoot up in the air. I need cash. Just gonna cancel these. That's a hell of an explosion for that guy, but alright. I'm gonna sell this because he's gonna just take it out if I don't. Looks like he took down my jump jet, dude. We'll set up our cannon here. Just in time for him to run off. Perfect. Yeah. Now we'll try to get our mammoth boy down. Then after we get the Mammoth Boy, we can try focus on some naval. Don't see him with a naval structure of his own yet, so I think we're okay. Ah, he's over on this side of the island now. So this Mammoth Atlas that you can drop, it's anywhere within your build radius, but the build radius is quite large. So it doesn't have to be adjacent to your structures, so I can probably place it right up to here. We'll see how that actually pans out. Yeah, the soundtrack's really good. Again, all great work by the community around the game to try and put it together. What I'll do is I'll cancel these so I can get the Mammoth up. So he's not really paying attention to the back of his base, so I might be able to get the advanced comms or push him to bring all these units back. Here we go. So how far up can I? Okay, so it is slightly limited. I'll pop him here. It's pretty cool. So this is your Atlas unit. It's a slow crawly boy. Get some more hover LRSs. We get a turret and put it in this side of the map. You seem to get these. I guess he must have a turret in the dark. There's his naval structure, so we should get our turret up and then switch to naval. What else? We should probably get... We can go for air units too. Range on these is huge. Nice. These explosions are a little on the extreme side, but alright. I appreciate the attic. Get the naval yard up. This guy's quite slow, and now the advantage of having these structures up here is you can turret off the bridge, so it's going to be very hard for me to cross it. So I'm probably going to have to rely on Orca bombers. Yeah, I can try and send a couple of these across this way. I can see he's getting the hover MLRSs over here. It makes GDI very difficult to deal with on these island base maps, just because they have the portability to work themselves around. Can we see any? We can't see any naval units coming out from Lunak just yet. Kind of want to put this back here where it's relatively safe. And we have access to the 2 ships? The Palace, 3 ships. The Palace... I guess the Palace and the Trident are only 2 I have at the moment. Kinetic Bombardment here, it's kind of like a Hunter Seeker, it'll seek out a random target and do some damage. I am missing... There's his Mammoth tank going down, very cool. I'm missing these little add-on attachments, so the drop pod uplink, super powerful. It drops in like, I think it's like 8 infantry, give or take. All super promoted to the max. Continue building these. Your units from the War Factory and the Naval Yard share the same queue. So we'll pop this on. I forget which structure it is. It's the one that he took out, isn't it? It is. God damn it, Lunak. So the command center is what you attach him to, not the advanced comm center. And he sniped mine, so I guess I'm gonna have to work around that. So generally at the moment, I think there is a small group of testers working on this. I'm playing a few games on these maps and trying to assess the balance. I think one of the things that's come up is like GDI's access to MLRS tech being on both like sea and ground. How can you fairly contrast that as NOD or even as GDI? Like, why would you prioritize building boats when you can have hover MLRSs? So these are the kind of problematic scenarios you run into. You also have this situation with primary structures, so if you want to primary your naval yard or your war factory, the hover MLRS can come out of both, which is kind of a nice general idea. We're going to move in here and take these out. Ideally take this out before it deploys. I think this is the one that deploys. So it does kind of that, splash attack. So we'll get our command post, put it back here this time. It's going to send us low power, so we're going to get more of that. This is the big boy. I want to hit the one in the back. GDI power plant is bigger than the NOD one. It gives more power, but because it takes up more surface area, it can be a little bit more tricky to deal with. We'll try and get our drop pod. Meanwhile, we'll rally this onto the ground over here and get some more hovers. Lunak definitely has the upper hand in this match, so I'm definitely behind right now. He is sneaking the hover MLRSs up here on the side. Not really much in terms of an opening for me. You can build carry-alls if you have the repair bay, but you can't carry the extra heavy Atlas unit, which is kind of fair, right? But you can build a disruptor. So where's my comm center? Here it is. So you can attach the uplink to it. Here's that. So you can see it just charges up like any other super weapon. Of course, balance is still needing to be tweaked. If we can try and lure him to the coast, it's nice because then our infantry can actually do damage to him. He's going for this again. He knows what he's up to. Okay, we're live. Where's our big boy? I think our big boy can reach this from up here, the Atlas. And as I said, there's no limit on these, so you can keep building them as long as you have the eco for it. I currently don't have a great eco scenario going on. It's okay. Here we have a hover APC from Lunak, it looks like, so I need to keep an eye on that. And the mother, he just took out my command center! Again! So yeah, in terms of balance, as we kind of mentioned earlier, it's a little bit off center. There's the deployed Poseidon, that's like their high tier GDI naval unit. But the ion cannon currently is quite imbalanced. They can one shot any structure, so your Conyard, like for example, can just be gone like that. And now I don't have eco because I've spent it all on rebuilding all my command centers, so Lunak's pretty much got this one. Yeah. GG's. Right, GG bunker noob in chat. Oh, he did it, I didn't see it. So yeah, he used the drop pods there. I don't know, you might have seen it, I didn't. Where it comes in with like the 7 or 8. Here you can see the Poseidons deploying. We've got one deployed here. Does this big surface to air missile. There you can see it going off. It's going to hit this. Or he's going to hit one of the structures. Pretty effective. It's a pretty cool idea. Definitely GG, But again, soundtrack's really nice. The models and the effects of this look really good. Even the air units or the naval units pretty good. Didn't see any of the air units in this game, primarily because it's a water-based map. But you do also have access, as I say, to the Orca bomber, and the Orca interceptor, which does like an EMP. So the EMP effect is really useful against this. And here's the Orca bomber. We get to see it take out this. It's going for. It's pretty good anti-air. Dun. Let me try an interceptor.
Ready.
Rip. But yeah, it's pretty fun, and like it's fairly fleshed out. As I say, like there are a couple of balance considerations that still need a bit of work, but they are actively in the process of trying to test it out. As you saw, Lunak with the bomber there. He's got the Poseidons taking kind of ground control. The Poseidons are fairly expensive. They're 2.5k, whereas the Atlas, the big mammoth tank, is like 3k. So you really have to make an active decision. About what makes the most sense? Yeah, balanced CNC. Yeah, it's let's put it this way: they are aware of it, and they are actively getting feedback and working on it. Unlike certain other games, but yeah, it's cool. You can see this. You can see the hover MRSs here coming on in. So you saw the ion cannon. You saw the drop pods. Basically, just wiped that all out before I could deal with it. You have access to these firestorm cannons. You also have more standard Vulcan type cannons that take up a similar radius. Here you can see the drop pods landed here. They're coming in and doing some significant damage. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty much the GDI faction.
Unit lost. Building.
Let's see these interceptors coming in.
Harvester under attack.
So you can see the interceptors, kind of not really showing off their glory there. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So you can see there the EMP hits the hover MLRS, sinks it, which is a really nice effect for sure. Yeah, there's the harvester gone down. GG's. He got me. You do get access to the commando unit as well when you have the comm center down, so you can pop that in an APC and send it. If you want to go nuke your entire opponent's base, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Let me just have a quick glance at Discord, make sure nothing's on fire. No one's directly pinging me anyway, so that's a good sign. I guess we'll try it not next. Color wise, don't think it really matters. We can go with his blue is kind of like Cabal, right? Tried some Cabal colored nod. See how that looks. Cyan. Loser wants cyan. Alright, we can get some cyan going on. Sure. Shouting it. Okay, okay. It's a shame. Mark J. Fox, I think, was planning to do some streaming, but I don't know if he's able to. Sounds like he's not going to be able to. But yeah, be sure to check out Orac's currently streaming it on his Twitch channel, on the official Tiberian Odyssey. You can also check out stream there via Discord, in case you want to get somebody else who's more experienced perspective on it. But this is more just kind of two scrubs basically trying to go at it a little bit.
Construction complete.
Yeah.
New construction options.
I don't know why I get so disorientated, just because of the nature of the map. Like, you're right in the center. It's hard to judge if you're going this way or this way. I think I'm on the bottom left, because the Tib's back here. So yeah, you got your power plant. The models look very nice. Very different con yard. Here's the city in the center, so the bridge is up here. It's pretty nice. Shrimpster, yeah. Gotta have the go-to color, for sure. Good to see you, Danny, man. Welcome on in. We're currently streaming, for those just joining, some Tiberian Odyssey. This is currently an alpha build of the game. It's hoped to be released before the end of the year. We'll get our rest back here. As you can see here, the flame unit's doing wonders against the disciples. Pretty effective. Happy about that. So I guess like the ideal thing is to get yourself a Wrapup here. So move the Conyard, deploy it like here, and get the ref back here, then move the Conyard back somewhere safe. Should have really gotten a War Factory before the second ref. I think like going one ref, War Factory makes more sense in a mod like this. But you'll have to talk to some of the testers. We're still figuring that kind of stuff out. Yeah, fire effects pretty cool. So I guess because the flamers are slightly flame resistant, they don't take much damage, or else that's slightly glitched. Oh, fire resistance 99%. Sure. Looks pretty. We'll let them have a bake off, that's fine. We're going to move our Conyard up to here, as far forward as we can, and put the ref behind it. And hopefully Lunak will be nice enough not to rush, but we'll see. Cool. So here's our buggies. Again, they have slots for single infantry, so if there's a nice mutant or civilian structure you want to capture, you can fire out one of these, put an engine in it and just send it. It's pretty nice. The bike, kind of as you'd expect. The bikes in this actually have a rotating turret, I believe, so you can queue move them. Possibly not. But it's quite nice to be able to have the quick mobility of them, send them all around the map. Let's see a few rocket men coming out here, so it's useful for dealing. Currently, the AI likes to come straight at you with jump jets. Sniper versus Tank Destroyer Warrior 2. Yeah. Yeah, usually the GDI AI tends to come straight at you with the a couple of jump jets, which are like tier 3 tech, so they tend to spam the eco and get up to you super fast. So as Nod, it's nice to have the ability to get out your flak troopers or your rocket infantry to deal with that.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
Okay, move this back. Got a tick tank set up here. I need to get my radar down to get to the next tier tech. There it is. I can't see what that prediction is, Bruiser, but I hope it's something appropriate. Yeah, the odds are definitely in Lunak's favor either way. He is definitely more experienced with the Tiberian Sun engine than I am. But we will see. We'll keep a tick tank here deployed as well, just in case something tries to sneak up on the cliffs. I'll actually scatter a few infantry loosely around the base too, in case he has some nasty surprises for us. No, don't have access to a hover MLRS, so it's going to be more ship-based combat, I suspect, this game. Or potentially air. What I might do is tech up to the air this time, more so. We'll get a few of these shock artillery now that we've got the radar tech. As I said, these are useful artillery units to line up here along the cliff. We go for the air. We'll go for the air first this time.
Unit ready. Construction complete.
And then we'll get the to tech up. You need the Shrine of Nod. So immediately I can build a harpy. I'll build one and like try to pick off some of the infantry here. even though he's got these flamers here, because these are so resistant, I can just try run through, and hopefully the disciples here don't do too much damage to get the rocket men. Nice. And then I can send in the Harpy to take out the rest of these. It's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. Hey, Flippy, good to see ya. Knock one in. It's currently myself versus Lunak, just showing some of the nod units and structures for the campaign. That looks a bit sketchy.
Unit ready.
Shock artillery, we'll set up one here. We'll set up a couple along the beachheads here and here. So he's using these Piranha bikes, which are actually from the naval yard. So we're going to have to siege our tech up. We'll put our key tech structures this time away from the land. This is like the safest point, I guess. It's the furthest inland. And this actually enables us to get some Vipers out, so we'll try that.
Construction complete.
1, 2, 3. We'll also look at getting a non-shipyard to show off some of that tech. So our Harpy here will finish off this loose infantry. Yeah, the artillery is super nice. The model's really cool. The fact that they fire off like the little shock bolts. Really nice effect.
Unit ready.
So again, deploying these in key locations allows Nod to like be really sturdy. Here is the Viper, which kind of shoots out a missile. What I should really get here is a bike and see if I can get out his base. Okay, so he's got a bunch of stuff going on. So we'll try the interceptor here against the shock artillery. Or not the interceptor, what's it called? It's called the... So you can see here the splash damage multi-missile effect. Super useful against infantry. Likely not so effective against these tanks, but that is called the Viper. In terms of our C units, so you got Piranhas, which are those kind of bikes, but they only stay on the water. And then you have these Hydras, which fire kind of like a lightning shock effect across the water, which hits multiple targets, which is pretty cool. So here we can Q move this a little bit to show off some of the maps. This is nice. We get a Temple of Nod next, the classic. Running a little bit tight on space for this map, but I'm sure we can fit it in. Some Devil's Tongue. What we might actually get first before these is a mobile sensor array, so we can see if Lunak's going to send somewhere away first. I suspect he is. But time will tell. And remember that the Naval Yard and the War Factory share the same build queue, so it's always something to be super mindful of. Interesting. Yeah, so here's the Hydra. It's a little bit slow, but when you see the attack, it does this little like shock effect, bounces from target to target. Pretty nice. So they're slow moving, but they're pretty tactical, whereas they're offset by these Piranhas, which are super quick. It's probably a good idea to get these set up here. I don't actually know if these can fire on land. They can, so these are definitely useful to have here at the bridge. Or here, where he seems to be teching up quite a bit. We'll get our Piranha out here, see if we can do damage to the Piranha. Nice. So here's our Temple of Nod. We'll get that down with some power. What do we got here? We got a mobile sensor array, so we'll deploy that here. So it's quite a large range on it. This is a relatively small map, don't forget. You have 2 small islands. So the Dragon Tongues don't mess around, like they're these big chunky models, which is super cool. So we'll get the power down here, and as you can see, we now have access to this subterranean bomb unit, which is pretty cool. So that's what the Temple of Nod gives you, and then after that you can get the Genesis facility.
Subterranean unit detected. Subterranean unit detected.
So you can see him coming in here.
Subterranean unit detected. Here we go, sir. Unit ready.
Sir, yes sir, no problem. Sir, yes sir, sir, now. On my way. Yes sir, no problem. Out and clear. Waiting out.
Subterranean unit
cool. So we'll try to get a Genesis building and hope that Lunak doesn't snipe us before then.
Our base is under attack.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
So as you can see, these are quite chaotic to deal with when they're right inside your base in such a tight-knit space. So the Dragon's Tongues are really... Devil's Tongues. I always call them Dragon's Tongues for some reason. The Devil's Tongues are really effective at countering the Shock Artillery because you can get like right under them, which is cool. We can also now build Banshees, which are super cool. Oh, really?
Construction complete.
Huh. Lunak suggesting that the artillery are fire resistant? I wouldn't have expected that. Here's our Genesis facility anyway. And the Genesis facility enables you to build Nod's high tier unit. So we'll see that when it comes out. It's kind of like their solution to the Atlas from GDI when they have that huge crab tank. This thing you can deploy and it enables you to see Tiberium, so it basically starts a new Tib field for you, which is, I can imagine, being super effective, particularly in longer game eco maps. We'll show off the Banshee here as well. So here it is. We'll try use it against these. So yeah, this thing basically it's set up onto a timer, and then once it hits the timer, you click it and it deploys out of your structure, the Genesis facility, which is pretty nice. Also have access to this EMP now. He's using some high tier Nod subs, so the Stingray, so we're going to neutralize that a little bit. You can also deploy stealth tanks, which he has done here, and when you deploy a stealth tank, we'll see if we can build a couple ourselves. It generates a small cloaking field, so you get a small radius of units that he can't actually see, which is super nice. So we're going to send our Banshees in here to take out this unit.
Insufficient funds.
So you can see that being super effective. Really like the Banshee model in this, just like swooping in. It's very very aerodynamic.
Unit lost. Under attack.
I think one of our guys got shot down there. Not quite sure what happened. Yeah, so the Stingray, the icon here, that's currently not in place. I haven't played much Nod before the before this, but that would be these Stingray subs which he's sending out my way. Should really build an extra helipad, but might be able to take this out with the Banshees. Let's see. Hell yeah. Nice, and he's got the anti-air attack thing here. It's the cool like Western 6-shooter style effect to it. It's kind of nice. It's pretty much all the units. We'll get this guy out and deploy him and see how it goes. Here's our stealth tank, so we'll bring him up here and just cloak these two turrets as an example.
Sir? Yes, sir.
Then Banshees are OP. It's because they're kind of late game tech too, so
Yes, sir.
it kind of works out. But yeah, here's the little radius that your stealth tank can generate. It's a pretty neat effect, so he's totally cloaked his siege units here, for example, so if I wasn't aware of this, I would easily walk into them, but if I walk my buggy in, you can see they're getting shot at. It's pretty cool. He's even got the little gate set up at the entrance here, which is a nice effect. It's pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
Of course, I can still dig these down and see what damage that I can get done. He does have the sensor array, so I don't suspect they're going to get too far. Who here needs to get more ammo? They all need more ammo.
Insufficient funds.
But yeah, I suspect as soon as these land, it's going to be chaos. It looks like he's deployed his experimental weapon. You can tell by the ion storms that are currently taking place. So yeah, he's using the EMP pulse here, which is actually a clever way of dealing with the Devil's Tongues. So as soon as they surface, you lock them into place. They can't escape. It does also, however, disable his artillery here, and it does disable your turrets as well, so you gotta watch out for that. But here is the Terraformer, which is Nod's solution to the Atlas, or like their equivalent. So if we get this up here, you have to deploy it, and when you do, it'll create this structure with a radius around it, and ion storms can occur within this area, but it also seeds Tiberium around the key part of the structure. So ideally you don't really want to be doing this right beside your refinery like I just did like an idiot, but it's more just to demonstrate what it can do.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Lunak's like, why are you losing all of your stuff?
Unit lost.
So yeah, this is a pretty cool idea. Being able to see Tiberium is
Yes, sir.
pretty nice. And then it does run the risk of actually hitting itself. There's the missile launch coming in from Lunak. He is now low power though, so you're gonna get the Banshees in to do some serious damage. It's pretty neat. We do have an advanced power plant solution too, 1000. Hey Rambo, good to see you. Long time no see, welcome on in. We've been trying out a whole bunch of mods during the Tiberian anniversary. This is one such mod, Tiberian Odyssey. It's not out yet. They expect to release it by the end of the year, but the graphics to it look very nice. A lot of cool models. Currently just doing some light 1v1s against Lunak, demonstrating. Last game we had some GDI v GDI, now we're doing some Nod v Nod. Yeah, just demonstrating the different units available, how they kind of look, how they play a little bit. Basically just giving Lunak an excuse to kick my ass at this point. But it's pretty fun. What am I missing?
Unit ready.
Again, Tiberium Silo, fairly straightforward, what you'd expect. We have the Shrine of Nod, we have the Temple of Nod, and now our Cluster Missile is ready.
Select target.
Which we can actually take out as Conyard, just to have fun. And you'll see how overpowered super weapons currently are. But yeah, they're not properly balanced at all. He's gonna do the same. Took out my Temple of Nod. The super weapons aren't balanced for multiplayer stuff yet, but it's pretty fun. The ideas and concepts they have in here, and with some fine tweaking and like, you know, letting it take your structures down to like red health instead of one-shotting it, I could see it being pretty fun. And of course, you do have the obelisk. It's kind of like the signature Nod structure, right? So we'll pop out one of those just to show it off. Tic tanks. Yeah. It does take some getting used to the fact that your naval structure has the same build queue as your naval yard. So that is one adjustment you need to kind of be careful of.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Got it. Unit
Lost.
So you can see here using these using the piranhas to take out the siege tanks. They're super quick, so you can quickly pull away, do some damage, pull back. Very nice lore fitting for GDI's kind of damage. This is pretty effective use. Like those boys. We'll see if we can go around and deal with it. Get our harvester back to its ref. Yeah, water bikes. It's a cool idea, right? Little piranhas. And then these things are called hydras. So we'll just put this guy up here. You can't build off defensive structures, so they don't increase your build radius. It's worth noting, I guess. So there you can see, as you would expect, your obelisk. So it's a nice little art style to it. Here you have the tic tanks. Our mobile sensor is still there in one piece, just about. Of course, stealth generator. I guess it's the other thing to show off a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You forgot the obelisk had the super cool art style? Yeah, they have the mini ones too. So for your like tier 1 defensive, you have these little lasers, which are they're like subterranean, so it's kind of like the SAM sites in Tiberian Dawn, where they're underground, and then when they attack, they pop up. Which I think is it's a nice little throwback, and it's a cool visual effect. We'll send in the Banshees to try and deal with this guy.
Lost. Construction complete.
So it's pretty cool effects, I have to say. Like, you can just imagine having like a huge 20 of those units or so. Here we have like an APC coming in, or a dragon's a tongue, so it's pretty cool. So you can see it popping out of the ground there and how it works. Yeah, no, this is it's a really nice modification of it. There's a huge amount of Tiberian Sun mods we've seen over the last 2 weeks. I've just been basically mainlining it and getting to chat with some of the devs and their stuff from their perspective, and like what they're working on, how they're developing, how they go about trying to balance the games, and all those kind of difficult questions. So it's really interesting seeing it. So here, because I have the EMP, I can wipe out their stealth generators. So their stealth tanks here, which are deployed giving the cloaking field, so I can get full vision of this stuff. And then I could potentially, if I had my Genesis facility still, I could potentially use that to send out a weapon here, or ideally use the unit I had here in their base and have a huge ion storm, and it would do mega damage. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Building.
Unit red orders received. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir.
You love the EMP? Got some love in this mod? Yeah, 100%. It's one of those kind of super weapony type ability things that tends to be super underutilized, I think, in a lot of mods, or it's kind of like seen as a secondary thing, right? But here it is very effective, especially with the way they've got nods set up with the
Construction complete.
stealth tanks. You definitely need it.
Building.
And again, as I said, GDI you both have access to the sensor array, so I can bring my sensor array all the way up here when I'm on the offensive to see this. But being able to use the EMP, just so much quicker. It's a nice quality of life improvement. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do at this point. I'm kind of way behind. I guess I could try build a fleet of artillery and try make our way slowly across the bridge, but I suspect that's not going to have great success.
Unit reporting.
Of course, you can force fire the ground and everything else, so if you need to do that, you can. You can't tell your air units to go over the sea first before coming in and strafing and stuff. These guys like to do their little dance. I think it's just a pathing issue at the moment. It's pretty cool though, pretty effective.
Unit ready.
It's definitely different.
Missile launch detected.
Okay, so you want to spread out all your dudes. He's gonna send it here to get the war factory. As you do, so I'll build the advanced power plant just to show what that looks like.
Sir, moving out.
Exactly. Well, no, I think it's a good opportunity, like weeks like this, to actually chat to the mod creators and see things from their perspective and how they're approaching it, and being able to bring in, like I'm functioning partly as a tester for some of this, so like if they like just at least up until this period when they've been putting together these things, if there's been specific units or anything that seem broken, I'm able to give input on that or like suggest things in terms of balance. And I think that level of engagement is really nice to have between the community and developers. I think it's something it's kind of like the things that EA tried to do with like the remasters in terms of having a community council, but it works on a much better level when you're engaging with people who actively kind of play the game in a multiplayer perspective. So while their main focus is still at this point trying to get the campaign out the door, they are actively being aware of what's happening on the multiplayer side of things and how to balance stuff, and also getting in map creators from different mods too. So a few of them have made different iterations of maps, so it's pretty cool. The Piranha Rush, exactly. What I could do is build a load of shipyards instead of getting a war factory, and just get a load of piranhas and surround his base.
Unit
You got
ready.
it. Unit yes, sir.
Piranha Rush owns.
Pulse cannon ready.
Yeah, that's
Insufficient funds.
a good option.
Unit ready. Yes,
Only
sir.
problem is, of course, these have limited range, right? Useful though on maps like this, where the Tiberium is like right on the edges of the islands. You can just go there, camp, and like have a blast. It's pretty good.
Unit
Unit
orders
ready.
received. Unit reporting.
Unit ready.
Yeah, and as we saw, like GDI going against Nod, the EMP is super effective against the mobile, the MLRS, the hover version of it.
Unit lost.
He's got something over here, so if I use an EMP, I might catch it. It's pretty cool, right?
Unit under attack.
It feels very satisfying to be able to do that, although what doesn't feel satisfying is not having any banshees left to deal with it.
Cancel.
Hey, cheers to the bits, Blizzard.
Unit
Appreciate it.
Unit ready. On my way. Unit ready. Sir.
This guy isn't deployed. If he was, he would have been killing this. You can see some nice animated effects. Sub-go and splish splash. It's pretty nice.
Building. Unit ready.
Sweet.
Unit ready.
But yeah,
Sir. Sir.
here's a
On
little
my way.
Piranha Rush. The other units that we have here, I built one of these, the Elite Cadre. These are like the 2K commando unit of this faction. They use the same projectile as the these dudes, the Hydras.
Lost.
So you kind of shoot, and it gives this like little spray effect of electricity, does serious damage. So if you can get a bunch of those into like a subterranean APC and deploy it in your opponent's base, you're gonna have a good time. We can try do that with at least one and see if it survives, but I have hesitance we'll make it that far, and if Lunak will let us do it. And the other unit, of course, here is the hijacker, so it's kind of like an engineer for vehicles. You can just pop it into a unit and it's yours.
Waiting order now.
Interesting that this is longer range than the artillery.
Ready.
And by interesting, I mean damn you. How dare you take advantage of this?
Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir.
I want to stay cloaked, but I want to deploy. Yeah. Where is our
Construction complete.
hand a nod?
Training. Low
Oh, that's not good.
building.
Nothing to see here.
Construction complete. Unit under attack.
Can I build a?
Construction complete.
Wait, did I not build a war factory? I thought I built a war factory. No. Maybe he took it out already.
Insufficient funds. Unit ready.
What is it for the Brotherhood?
Hey DM, how's it going? It's an attorney game. We're checking out some Tiberian Odyssey. It's a mod version of Tiberian Sun that the team on it have been working on for years. They're hoping to get a release of it publicly playable to the public within the next couple of in the next few months. So by the end of this year, they're hoping to get a release of it with like a campaign. So the guys are busy working on that.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
EM pulse cannon ready.
So here you can see they're using the special unit to generate some Tiberium in this field, which is pretty nice. And the Iron Storm is nice actually in terms of being a an anti-scout feature. If you're
On my way. On my way. Yes, sir.
on a naval map like this, it's a cool way to be able to block it off.
Our base is under attack.
Sir, loud and clear.
So I don't know where he is. Oh, he's over here. Okay. Will EMP pulse it?
Lead convoy reporting.
Unit
No! So he's taking out all my harvesters at this point. So we're not going to be able to get our... well, maybe if we sell this, we'll get the cash made up for it.
captured. Sold. Unit lost.
For the Brotherhood. Sir, you got it.
Let's see.
Unit ready. Construction complete. New construction options. Unit lost.
Still training APC.
Building.
Alright.
Insufficient
What
funds.
is it? What is for the Brotherhood?
This is like our Hail Mary, and this isn't going to work either. I'm just going to sell my stuff so I can get enough cash for it and try it out.
Unit under attack.
Get away, Lunak. Let me get it.
Sir.
Unit
Come
ready.
on.
What is it?
Missile launched.
No!
Unit ready. Unit reporting.
Okay.
Sir.
Unit lost.
Let's
On my way.
let's see if this does some damage. It's going to be
Yes, sir.
it's going to be a nice surprise to end this game.
Missile
Unit
launched.
ready.
Of course, he is going to be able to detect this. He's got a mobile sensor array somewhere here.
Unit lost.
Unit reporting.
But I'll be interested to see what damage these do. I've heard that when these are in like a closed quarters space, and because they have the splash damage effect,
Unit lost. Unit lost.
that's pretty fun. Like,
Unit lost.
you can do good harassment. Like you said, if there's single engineers are on or anything like that, again, it's a good excuse to be able to do serious harassment. Yeah, it's fun.
Our base is under attack. Unit lost.
GG's. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It's pretty cool. As we say, we're more showing off a bunch of these That's my excuse for losing quite badly, is showing off these units and structures and explaining them a little bit. Even though I'm sure Lunak's doing the exact same. Somehow this reminds you of Dark Rain. It was an old RTS. I'm just having a quick glance at Discord, making sure everything's okay. Yeah, no problem. No prob. Let me quickly have a look at Twitch, see if Orac's still streaming. Check in with those guys. If you want to check it out, it's one of the, I think this should be it. Yeah, this is one of the main devs in the project. He's currently streaming the game. You can also, so you can see here he's currently playing as, it looks like GDI, potentially on debug mode, just showing off a few of the extra units. Some of the maps do have civilian structures and special structures you can capture to get access to a couple of mutant units and Cabal units, so that's kind of a nice little twist on the usual mechanics, which is super interesting to see. Always nice to have those capturable structures. You can have ones that usually I don't think you can really build off those civilian structures you capture, except for one that's dedicated for it. It's like a cargo loader. I think you can capture certain armories and munitions that'll give you access to build the tanks and infantry of the factions, which is also super awesome. So yeah, they are doing quite a lot with this mod. It's really interesting. Yay! We saw that earlier as well. We played one of the maps where I captured the thing in the center to give you an idea for that kind of stuff. So yeah, sure. Pyro, one of the testers, he's been heavily involved in the testing since the start, I believe. He's a good guy. He we have a good time when we're doing little testing sessions. He's quite humble with his abilities. I'll give it a minute, see if they want to join. But I'm just gonna have a quick look here and check in. So here's what Orac's currently up to. Quitting a game. You can actually see some of the mutant units here, funnily enough.
GG, and now we get to look at numbers.
New mentions. Who's mentioning me?
Cool. Now we got a boo from Max.
Mike's gonna take a break for a bit. Nice. You try join. Yeah, okay. Of course, naturally, the second you jump into the lobby, it's like, oh, we're taking a break. It's like, no. Okay, so they're taking a quick break. Do-do-do-do-do. So the guys are actually planning. Orac is going to do a session with TeamBlack after these multiplayer matches to go through actually some asset creation. So for some of those, I think they're going to work on some of the cameo art. So the stuff that you see in the like right hand hotbar when you're building structures and things. So their plan is to get that. I think do that up for the Genesis structure, the Nod kind of tier 3 tech building. I think they're planning to go through how to do that on stream, which was initially in the schedule for 2 hours from now. I don't know if they're going to be playing for a solid 2 hours. They might be. But yeah, it'll be cool to jump into some bigger games. So we've seen some kind of GDI mirror matches and Nod mirror matches. So hopefully everyone's getting a better idea in terms of how they're kind of balanced and how it works, and getting some idea and feel for the units and the structures, and how they might interact with each other. For better or worse, and like the super weapons, as I say, they are there. You can disable them too if you want to play in a more let's say balanced fashion. For now, as I say, they're still working on it, and the focus is primarily on trying to get the single player up and running, as you know should be, but there are still considerations and there is work being done to try and make sure things are a little bit balanced, to say the least. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, pretty nice. As these guys are going on a break, I guess we're just going to chill for a bit, and then hopefully get into a larger lobby with them. Save us just while one-on-one is fun. Like, I'm sure it'll be nice if we can get kind of a larger game with a bunch of us in it, but we'll see how that goes. Because the time zones that some of these people are working in, I think Orac's from New Zealand. There's definitely an Austrian in here somewhere, not just Bluezer. There's just a whole bunch of cross-continent players and developers and testers, which is really awesome to see too. Like, it's just a full dynamic team, so it's really cool. Yeah, Blizzard, if you want to have, a slightly easier game, let's say, where you're not just rushing for Iron Cannon and taking out their Conyard, then that might be the go-to solution for that, right? But yeah, I'm just keeping a loose eye on the Discord stuff here too. What are the guys up to? Yeah, they're just chilling in the lobby for now. Cool. But it's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything. Feel free to pop them in the chat. I can try to answer them. Like I say, I've played a handful of multiplayer games on this. I haven't played a huge amount, but I'm somewhat familiar with the tech tree. The majority of units. It seems like, from initial impressions, it seems reasonably balanced. Like the one unit I have mild concerns about is the MLRS, because when you add naval to these Tib Sun games, you kind of mix up the power of those units. So if you have naval only, like the bikes for example, it's kind of difficult, right? Because why would you, like, if you're coming up against an army that's made up of just ground units, why not take the advantage and use MLRS, which is reasonably good against ground units, as well as being useful against naval units, and with the extra mobility of being able to switch back and forth if you see your opponents going naval, right? Obviously you're going to prefer to get like your Ares or your Titan type units, which would be cool. That's kind of the way I would look at it. From the Nod perspective, like, I've mostly played GDI. I know you're asking, Blues are the better faction. I mean, I'm obliged. I generally play GDI in most CNC games. I think their Atlas high tier unit is really fun. I prefer the Terraformer type unit that Nod has as a special thing. It's more unique, and the use of the stealth tanks as a cloak generator, I think, is really smart, and a really good way of making things like forward tick tank and artillery batons, or like forces, more sustainable and viable as like a little platform unit, so you can crawl towards your enemy, and then you can deploy your tick tank and your shock artillery and have it cloaked. And if your opponent doesn't see it and you put it in like a very clever strategic place on the map, that could be huge. You could possibly take out like a big like your opponent's eco could be devastated, or if you see a very important section on the map that's primarily based around like capturing civilian tech or cabal tech or mutant tech, and instead of capturing it, you decide to put your stealth artillery hidden in the corner, so when they go to approach it, you just wipe them out, right? There's a lot of cool potential for that stuff, which is awesome. It's pretty cool. Also, Nod's still more stealthy and weak units. GDI more powerful and expensive units. It does feel a bit like that at Blizzard, but I think that's always been the balance between the two factions. Nod have always been the more slimy, I guess, faction, where they have like the quick bikes, they've got the quick buggies, they have instant access to anti-air units, whereas GDI tend to have to bulk up, especially with currently, I'm not sure if they're planning to, but currently the tier 1 GDI doesn't have anti-air, so they have to rely on getting the racks up and then getting down a static anti-air defense structure, which immediately can leave them prone to those trying to do those kind of quick attacks where they can be hit down by air units like the Harpy or the Banshee or any of those kind of things. So it's definitely an interesting mix. I think jump jets across the Tiberian Sun player base are very much, I would say, love-hate relationship, but more hate-hate, just because of the way that it works is very inconsistent. But I think in this, from what I've seen, they tend to be more reliable than not, but I haven't had a real chance to experiment with it, unless I'm against the AI, who love to send them my way every single match. It's pretty funny. It's satisfying being able to shoot them down, but yeah, you do still, like, it was interesting seeing the tournament yesterday, because you have the situation where you're seeing all these old school Tibsun cheese strats, for lack of a better word, where you've got like carry all disruptor drops, or you've got rushes of mass infantry, and I think you could still sort of do that here. Like you might have seen in the GDI mirror matchup where I just walked a disruptor across the bridge and like nearly took out his Conyard in a very short period of time. I think those things are still very much here, but it's more counterable, or it's at least you can see it coming and do something about it. And again, it is a case that it is a balancing question and trying to figure out these things as you go along. And yeah, I don't know. I think the guys behind it, like primarily Orac, I believe is kind of like the lead developer on the project at the moment. I think TeamBlack has been doing a bunch of work on this before and has been a previous lead in the project. I think they've both done a really good job to get the game to the state that it's currently in, and I think a lot of it is just kind of little polish, and like balance tweaks take time, and it's something that you improve on the more you get your testers to play and do things. And I know that they are roughly planning to try and expand their tester pool shortly-ish, I think. But in order to keep an eye on that, you can actually go onto their Discord, which I can grab a link for you to access if you are curious about it, from somewhere. Where can I get a link? Here is the link to the Tiberian Odyssey Discord. So if you are curious, I'd recommend hop on there and keep an eye on some of the project work. And again, you can check out TeamBlack. He's streaming his point of view too. You also have, they do have an official YouTube channel. I don't believe there's anything up on it yet, but I'm sure they'll put up a bunch of playthrough things and stuff over the coming weeks, which is awesome. So yeah, it's been pretty fun to playtest a bunch of this. As I say, we've played in a few different games, a few different lobbies. We've had some free-for-alls, we've done some team games. Primarily on stream, we've had a couple of 1v1s there with me and Lunak. Seeing the GDI mirror and the Nod mirror is pretty fun. Getting to see some of the different units, some of the special units. It's definitely fun. Definitely enjoying the mod. I love the aesthetic to a lot of the structures and the models that they have for it. The care that went into it is really evident. They're not just I mean, it's not just that, but like they go to the extent of, you know, not using the default construction yard, and they specifically have different models for like the GDI Conyard and the Nod Conyard, which is like a really nice differential, and something so small, but like you can see that thought went into the decisions behind it, and not having look like the exact same structure is it's not giving themselves more work, but it's making the factions more unique and all in all a better cohesive unit, which is super great as a player, I think. And to easily be able to recognize straight away, oh yeah, this is a Nod base, you know. And you know the structures like the hand and Nod, and I guess the weapons factory as well, because you have the more traditional GDI weapon factory with the opening in the front, whereas the Nod's got more of an arch over the entryway to the war factory. The naval yards look slightly different too, and even the power plants, and yeah, like there's a lot of uniqueness between the two factions that they portray in a nice way. Fave unit from each faction at the moment. My fave super weapon is actually the unit drop ship stuff, where you basically just send in like 8 or 9 infantry, so they drop down, and just the whole visual aspect of that is cool. In terms of a single unit, I think the Atlas is probably it. I haven't played a lot of the Mutant and Cabal faction units because they're very situation specific. I've been focusing more on the like GDI versus Nod side of things because they're the core factions. But from what I've seen earlier, Orac was showing off some of the Cabal units, and they're very similar to Nod's like Banshee type thing, where it looks super high tech, and like the particle effects and the projectiles all look really nice, which is super cool. He's taking. So yeah, it's pretty cool. From Nod, the Terraformer, I really like the concept of it. It's very different. I've definitely not seen anything like it before. So yeah, it's very unique, and I like the idea of a unit that enables you to create Tiberium. It's something that's not explored a huge amount, I think, in a lot of the mods that I've seen. Not even specific to Tib Sun, but across the whole Command and Conquer franchise, is that you tend to end up in these scenarios where you have units that take Tiberium and then use it all, and then your eco's screwed. But being able to use a special unit that can repopulate that, or put it into any spot of your choosing, so long as it's left to its own devices, and then you make a small pool of Tiberium and then you move it, is clever. It also has this unique effect of when you deploy it, it creates that like mini ion storm in that field too. So you gotta be very give and take with it in terms of where you put it. It might risk damaging your structures, as we saw when I used it and wrecked them, if you don't put it in a very isolated section. And it's just it's just a really interesting, really different way of doing it. Da da da. Da da da. So there's 5 of us in here. Not sure what the guys want to play. Free for all probably makes the most sense. Team games would be good too. You could go 3 versus 2. You go Pyru, Danku, Lunak. I don't think me and Lunak, I don't think, could take on Orac, Pyro, and TeamBlack. Definitely not. I would say in like just a rough ranking of people on here, it's probably TeamBlack is number 1. I don't know how good Orac is. It looked like he was more using the debug mode than the more traditional stuff. Oh, Orac's gonna spectate. Okay. These teams are not going to be good. Against Pyro and TeamBlack. Hackman hacks the servers to make them uncrashable. Yeah. Or whatever these guys are up for. Fave tactic is I haven't really had the time to come up with like the 4 ref build, or the the flamer rush, right, where you get 5 flamers and just send it. I did think it was interesting in our matchup against Lunak where we had flamers going against flamers and they weren't able to harm each other. I think that's interesting, and it's very different to the base balance of those games because they don't tend to be invulnerable to flames, right? And it makes them also, I guess, a very... I don't know how good the subterranean flame unit would fare against them if they're totally invulnerable as well. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is here, what these guys are going for. Da da da. Da da da. I do think currently as GDI, getting a lot of MLRSs is the way to go. As Nod, I think you need to get a good few of those siege artilleries up. And then just keep a couple of bikes around them so that your air units can take them on. Da, da, da. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I don't know, 5v2? Oh, they want to do 2v2 or 3v3 with what do they want to do? Pyro wants the cheater on his side. Poor Lunak was getting a bunch of abuse because we were setting up like the latest build of the game. And he kept getting like, the hosting of the lobby currently has different game files to you. They might be cheating. It's like, what? Oh, Max is back. Awesome. So that would be sick. That would be 6 of us. Hey. So that could be 3v3. That could be good. Or could be 4v4 if they use the easy AI. If Orac wants to jump in and play. Da, da. Soundtrack in this also, as I said before, is really nice. It's different, but still fits with the theme. It's pretty cool. A lot of good work put in by the different composers putting it together. Also, as I said before, a lot of interesting maps in the pool already. We kind of, myself and Lunak for our game specifically use that one map because I think it's the best in some ways in terms of balance, just to showcase the different factions and like give ourselves some breathing room so we could actually show it off without instantly dying to each other or like putting pressure on each other. Max and TeamBlack. Oh boy. Okay. So I guess I'm on Team B, Lunak's on Team B. This is going to be interesting. We're going to get our ass kicked. This is towards Team V. Okay, well, if we're doing this in a more competitive, well, not competitive, but like trying to keep someone alive, I'll go with red GDI. I'll go with GDI and I'll choose red to represent my boy DK's colors. I know you're out there somewhere, DK. Gotta represent. Since Lunak's taking my my traditional cyan. Bum ba dum ba dum bum 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 ba dum ba dum bum bum. Okay, so we've got an easy AI, which means that I'm not going to be pressured early on down towards the left. Depending on, I'm not familiar with this map. Depending on if there's easy access or like a ramp down to that river. If it's a cliff, it'll be great because I can't be rushed by hover MLRSs. If it's open, I'm in a lot of trouble because he can come at me from any direction at any point. But yeah, let's see how this goes. Hopefully the game doesn't crash yet or anything. We had some good games with Lunak without crashes and stuff, so fingers crossed. But let's go. Team Danku and Lunak. And of course,
Construction options.
our ally, the one and only Pyro Web,
Construction
whose
complete.
name I definitely didn't forget whatsoever. And you can see here the power plants, just as a demonstration, are bigger than nods. So they give more power, but they do take up more real estate, which is an interesting trade-off.
Construction options.
Especially on Tib Sun when the environment is destructive and you can have different levels of portability. So wherever you go tends to be super important.
Loud and clear.
Unit
Yes,
ready.
sir. Loud and clear. Sir, moving out.
Unit ready.
Incoming reporting.
It's a little bit stuttery.
Sir, moving out.
This is likely because of the cross-continent tunnel we're using, I guess. Should be okay.
Sir, loud and clear.
Seems to have eased off a bit.
Infantry reporting.
Looks like we might have some civilian structure here we can capture. This enables you, I believe, to have like a huge mobile sensor array radius. Hence the name radar array. Checks out, right? We'll get our war factory straight after the first rep, then we'll get a second rep. Looks like we got a nice chunk of Tib here at the starting area. Possibly some back here, I don't know.
Sir, you got it.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
We'll look at capturing that.
Loud and clear. Infantry reporting. Sir, you got it.
So we got more Tib back here.
Yes, sir. Sir, you got it.
Okay, looks like that's got to be Lunak, right? He's a Scion player. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we good.
You got it.
Load of Tib down here. Armory here too.
Construction complete.
So I might get an engineer and try to capture that. Can't build off the radar array here. It's worth noting.
New construction options.
We'll get a few Titans up while we're getting our second ref.
Unit ready.
We'll send this down to the army. See if we can capture this. Should it enable us to build some of the mutant faction, which I haven't gotten the chance to do yet. So it'll be an interesting experience for both of us.
Yes, sir. You got it. Loud and clear.
Unit ready.
You got it. Loud and clear. Waiting order.
Need to get more vision going on. These are cliffs too, so this is very nice. It means there's nice choke points you can try and hold off. yeah, it happens with it. It happens.
Papa is here, sir.
Oh wow, look at that minimap. There's a lot going on.
Insufficient.
Reporting. Awaiting orders.
Okay, we're gonna capture the mutant hovel, the mutant armory down here. Right, so that is cool.
Building captured.
Didn't seem to do much for us. Okay, interesting. Might be a case,
Building.
I don't know.
Unit ready.
As I say, I've not used it before. Looks like they're gonna get a scout off here. How are we doing? So here's Pyro. Here's Lunak. Here's me. Doing okay, doing okay.
Sir, loud and clear. You got it. You got it.
Okay, so he's
Loud and
we
clear.
got our opponent coming down this way. Topple.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
It's a lot of green dudes.
Unit
Waiting order.
lost.
Sir, moving out.
Unit ready.
Can't sell this.
Building.
Here reporting, Commander. If you get a
The reason why I'm focusing on getting Titans here and not the kind of Wolverine units is primarily just in case I got rushed
On hold.
early on.
Cancel.
I am actually doing okay at this point. So if I can get one of these Argonauts out instead of the Ares, it'll be good for cleaning up these infantry.
Infantry reporting.
Nice.
Got it. Papa is here, sir.
Construction complete.
Let's get our radar down. Even though you can choose to have an infinite radar or not on these maps too. But the reason we're getting it is for the tech purposes, not necessarily the vision. And then we're going to get some hover MLRSs. You can see our base on the attack here. This is not good. Run back, boys. Yeah, we got Lunak the undefeated.
Sir.
What could possibly go wrong?
No problem.
So they must have come across the bridge here, right? So the risk is here and also up here. It'd be nice to get a refinery down here somewhere, but it's quite awkward just because the way the terrain is. I don't see a clear way of deploying down there. You do have unredeployable MCV by default. Here we can see they're using the artillery units. Okay.
Cloaked unit detected. Building.
Cloaked unit detected.
Waiting orders.
Okay, Lunak's going for the heavy disc throwers and these dudes.
Cloaked unit detected.
I tell you, what's giving me this vision is this sensor array here. I believe. It's quite a large radius on it.
Standing by. Now. Clear for
Cloaked
engagement.
unit detected.
Ready for battle. For engagement. Fires on confirmed.
I want to try and deny vision here if we can help it.
We hear you. Orders out and clear. Yeah. Sir? Ready for battle.
That's fine.
Detected.
So yeah, I think I can pull these units back because Lunak seems to be holding this okay. And I want to focus on trying to hold down here.
Affirmative, sir.
Gonna see this guy die very shortly. Rip Disciple.
Loud and clear. We hear you. Clear for engagement.
I might just stop production of these for now. And I might actually get an extra harvester. Because my eco feels very low.
Cloaked unit detected.
Don't know if maybe I'm not seeing the in-game messages or if it's just something else.
Tough and
Cloaked
armored.
unit detected.
Cloak unit detected. Did I get the harvester? No, I'm still building it. I'm getting very blocked up with my economy and I don't like it.
Cancelled. Building.
I'll just build the harvester first.
Infantry reporting. Sir? Moving out. You got it. I'm taking
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit reporting.
Cloaked unit
Unit
detected.
reports received.
I'm taking heavy fire.
Cloaked unit
Lunak's here doing some damage. He's going to be able to set up a little base here, it looks like. It's pretty nice.
We hear you. Fires on
I
confirmed.
could actually move my Conyard down here and like get a little ref here.
Loaded and ready.
detected.
Loud and clear.
This is pretty sneaky.
Sir, loud and clear. Standing
Cloaked
by.
unit
Moving to
detected.
base aid.
Filthy tactics. Okay, so we got this guy.
Detected.
So we're going to move our Conyard down towards here with the intention of getting a ref set up so it can take advantage of...
Standing proceeding to target.
even if I could get up here, it'd be really nice.
Loud and clear. Aries.
But we'll see.
Cloaked
Again, I should really be keep moving a little bit so you can do your attack and move units at the same time.
Awaiting orders.
It's just a bit of fatigue on my end.
training.
Nice little crate here. I like the crates that they use for this modification as well. They're not relying on the default Tib Sun crate. So that's definitely different.
Systems go, sir. Affirmative, sir.
I'm trying to get...
Waiting orders.
I don't know where to put... I guess I'm just going to be safe and put a ref here.
Detected. Building.
Tough and armored.
Might be able to get it a bit further once I have stuff set up. Need to be building units, so we'll get a couple more mobile MRSs and we'll get some more Aries.
Infantry reporting.
Detected.
Yeah, so I think I'll get a ref here, move the Conyard forward, get a ref here, and set up like a little forward base of sorts, I guess.
Sir, got it.
Doing okay. Purple base, looking pretty scary, okay. And then we got Orac's base. Purple base belongs to TeamBlack.
Cloaked unit. Detected.
So again, this is like two team leaders coming up against me, Lunak, and our poor ally here, Pyro, who is going to be using us to cling on to dear life. I don't envy
Awaiting orders.
Don't envy them.
Unit ready. Yes, sir.
Oh, I got a hover disruptor from a crate.
Yes, sir.
Cloak unit detected.
Orders received.
GDI anti-air is MRSs. There's a hover disruptor. I might be able to just like send this in.
Under attack.
What do I need?
Cloak unit detected.
Okay, what I do, well, I don't think I need a mobile sensor array because I should have vision of it with this. This is pretty sneaky, so they are actually going for some naval.
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Waiting order. I'm on it. Sir, loud and clear. Clear for engagement.
Cloak unit detected.
I have to sell this.
Harvester under attack. Construction complete.
I'm gonna have to replace our war factory. We'll do it down here, where it's a little bit safer.
On it.
Cloak unit detected.
I'm gonna get a bunch of disc launchers.
Unit lost.
That explosion animation is a hell of a thing.
Unit lost.
Infantry
Cloak
reporting.
unit.
Yeah, that is some real sneaky, because you wouldn't expect them to use naval play here, right? And it looks like they're using these siege turrets to actually be able to hit stuff over here.
Harvester under attack.
So once you get the war factory down, we're going to deploy our Conyard up here and get more refs. Don't really know. Not really sure how to deal with this. I think air units is the best way, but I'm so tight on cash. Maybe the destroyers will be useful against these. Counterboats. Counterboats are always the good solution, right? I'll cancel building destroyers because it's kind of redundant at this point. Like, I do think destroyers are the best option because these missiles hopefully won't do major damage against them, and it's enough to like deter them away from the edge. Okay, we're going to focus on MRSs again in terms of our tank production unit, and we're going to move our Conyard all the way up to there. I need to focus at the moment, so apologies on chat. Again, this is a relatively brand new mod, so still figuring out what I'm doing. Okay, get a refinery. We need to get it before he actually comes in and does some damage. Max is running out of cash. This is a little bit scary when he comes in here with his boats. Again, you can see it's similar for me. I have 3 refs and I'm like just dying. Oh, please don't be able to reach this.
Under attack.
Please don't be able to reach that. Please don't reach it, please don't reach it, please don't reach it. Where's my cash?
Sir. Awaiting orders.
Cloak unit.
He's gonna be able to hit this. Yeah, he's turning to hit it. I have to move it. That's annoying.
Harvester under attack.
Where do I want to even put my units? Here?
Harvester under attack. Unit lost.
So this is a brand new mod dub. It's a modification of the Tib Sun engine.
Base under attack.
So the air units or the sea units are quite limited at the moment. There's no dolphins, no squids, any of that stuff. It has, yeah, the closest it has is like Nod water bikes, which is pretty cool. It's different. Stop attacking my Conyard! Fuck you guys! Jesus! There's nowhere safe. I have no idea how to deal with this. I need to get up like air, orcas or something, right?
Construction options.
But he's just totally taken out all my harvesters.
Subterranean unit detected. Subterranean unit detected. Cloak unit detected.
cloaked units coming up here now. I have no units to defend, really. I've got like a couple here.
Harvester on board tower. Cloak unit detected.
Harvester's here, still doing his thing.
On
I need to just switch and hopefully get some orcas up or something.
building.
Like this siege stuff on the shoreline is absolutely devastating for GDI without orca reinforcements. So I just need to prioritize that.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep my harvesters down here.
Construction complete.
Put this somewhere safe.
New construction options. Building.
Yeah, okay.
Subterranean unit detected. Cloak unit detected.
This guy is just
Cloak unit
so annoying. There's nothing I can use to hit this. What do we got? Got areas here. Might be able to reach.
Unit ready.
Well, over here we got the fire tongues doing heavy damage. And did Orac get wiped out?
construction complete.
Oh, German V. So Lunak just went straight tech up. Jesus. His eco is so much stronger than mine. I don't quite know why. I don't quite understand that. Because he's got 1 RAF, 2 RAF. He only has 2 RAF. Whereas I have 1, 2 RAF, 3 RAF.
Unit detected.
So I have the extra RAF. But I'm kind of out of Tib right now. Or it's all long distance mining to here, which sucks. Maybe it's just a better spawn point with Tib access at the base. The boats here did real serious damage. I didn't switch tech to the helipads quick enough.
Unit ready.
And now that I have it, he's like gone, right? But I should be able to use the Orca to take out the Siege artillery here with a bit of luck, if he doesn't have any anti-air around it. Because he does have cloaked stuff here too, right? Yeah.
Building.
I think I just need more harvesters or something.
Building. Cloak
So
unit.
as I say, it feels bad. Don't think that these can hit in the air, but I'm actually not sure if they can, then this is a bad idea.
Cloak
I guess you can put
lost. Unit ready.
guys into the armory to level them up. I'm not sure, I haven't used them. Yeah, okay, so you can put infantry into the armory to give them a level up. So these guys could kill the Orca, it looks like. It's unfortunate.
Building.
We need to tech up.
Building.
If I can take out this Banshee, it might be nice. It's quite an expensive air unit. If you can take it up out before they get to use it, it'd be nice. Oh, the boats here are gonna... Damn it.
Cloak unit detected.
In terms of siege units, GDI doesn't really have anything that I can think of. Hover MLRS is the closest thing, and they're going to be able to match its range.
Ready.
So Lunak's basically taking this forward armory, and he's going to be able to level up all of his units. You can see my guy down here just got his leveled, got his veterancy. Now might be a good time to move down to the bottom because he seems to have kind of forgotten about me a little bit. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just kind of out of building harvesters as well, so it's quite expensive.
Cancelled.
But I'm kind of just out of cash.
Cloak unit detected. On hold.
If I can keep this alive till I get this down, then I can build anti-air structures.
Cloak unit detected. New construction
Which are here.
options. Building.
I can also start building a couple of disruptors. It's sort of like my main attack force and push them upwards. He's coming in back with these, so these are going to be useless.
On hold. Cancelled. Building.
He's using the EMP is pretty effective here. It's going to disable all my units, but I guess I don't know if that was Lunak who did that. It was Pyro.
Insufficient funds. Close loop detected. Construction complete. Close loop detected.
Yeah, I just need. I guess I just have to use my MLRS stuff and hope for the best. It'd be nice to get the command center down, but I don't think I have the eco to afford it. He's gonna be able to take this out. Luckily, he seems a little bit preoccupied elsewhere. I need to just get some units up. I've got nothing. You can see now because I have the anti-air here, he wants to harass it with the boats, which makes sense. Don't die. Nice. We'll try to send these around to kill this. Handling's a little bit weird trying to go up and around, so instead we're going to stay here. Lunak, meanwhile, he's sending in some of the Atlas tanks. Pretty cool. The MLRS. It's got a couple of the Argonauts too, right? A mixture of minigunners, destroyers. Coming streaming in. Yeah, HMLRS should help. That's about all I can use. This is pretty good. I think what happened in this match pretty much is that like this player spent so much money on the naval forces that when Lunak's able to come in with his ground forces, they just can't deal with it. And then he was able to deny my expansion down here, which set back my eco so much. But I think Lunak just got a real nice position with his spawn in terms of getting all the refs out. And then Pyro's just been steadily supporting from the back. You can see now my eco is like actually picking up because I have enough halves to refs now. I'm not building a load of structures and units. I need to kind of just choose one and go with it. So instead of teching up at this point, I'm just going to focus on getting a bunch of the HMLRSs up and then attacking from down below. Safe to say, Lunak saved our ass here. Also moved for a little deployment up here, which is cool. Pyro doing his thing, chilling. I would be for long range Jug Arty Strike for cap ship. Not sure what he means. Yeah, they are, but that's kind of what I was going for here. Shrimp, I was just waiting to get enough units and then push in. But like, this is kind of the key thing. I think, I don't know if Orac's dead or what happened, or where he is. I thought he was up here, but evidently not. Ah, TeamBlack's been defeated. He gave up. Oh, TeamBlack was back here. Okay. This must be Orac here. Max left the game too. Aim for their halves. Yeah, half sniping is actually a good shout. If I came across here earlier with a couple of Titans somehow, it's a bit of an awkward position. I think again it's kind of down to the spawn points, but also just not being super familiar with the game yet. Because like these guys having to go all the way long way around to get in here is like what? I can like skate out some of the map while Lunak like cleans up here, right? the travel time for that. I think it's just because of the map. There's probably like a repairable bridge, maybe here, or sending them up all the way. It's kind of like up all the way around here. Like it's quite a cliffed off map, which is good because it favors the game to actually go out a little while like it did here, and you can like see various points. You can see the scores here. Top 3, let's go. I'll take that. Kills 31. Look, it wasn't the most. Lunak just being an absolute beast. Holy shit. 119 kills. Lunak, I think, is a good history with Tib Sun at some point. I feel like he must, in order to be ranking that high with the kill count compared to everyone else. GG's, it's fun. Yeah, the Navy wasn't. I wasn't expecting any Navy on a map this small, to be honest. So it was definitely unexpected. So yeah, there's still a couple new maps and stuff TeamBlack suggesting we try it out. He sent it across this morning. I haven't added it to my client beforehand just to prevent desync issues or wherever else. Pyro doesn't want to install anything, so it's all good. It looks like Max is having to go offline for now. It's pretty fun. I'll spy on Hackerman's files. Lunak knows. That was pretty fun. It's pretty good. You got to see a little bit from all the different factions. Interesting to see like the naval conflict against the static base. How many do we have? We've got Orac, Pyro, TeamBlack, Danku. So we got 6, I think. And Max said he had to go. So that leaves 5. Can that'll be a nice way to end it, right? You see some team games, seen some 1v1s, and like a free-for-all would be a nice way to just like tie a bow on it. And Orac can join in too, he doesn't have to spectate. But totally up to those guys. It's their game after all, right? But, it's been a lot of fun. Again, apologies for the technical issues we had at the start there. It was just a combination of I think just all of us being in the lobby and crashing. The other stuff being like I had upload issues here with my setup, but thankfully we managed to get on. We've been streaming for almost a steady 2 hours at this point. I have to say the time has flown by. It's been really fun. It's been great talking about the different units, and hopefully all of you guys are getting a much better feel for the game. Ideally from like the player perspective and like how that actually looks, as well as from just the general, like even the team games there, seeing the push and pull, seeing some of the civilian structures. We haven't seen a lot of them in today's games, but I think that's totally fine. I'm sure if you check out Orac's channel, the VOD for it will possibly be put onto the official YouTube. So if he sees that, if you want to go check that out, I know some of the early games he did today included showcasing some of those special units, and they look so nice. So definitely check that out. Yeah, this looks cool. Dig the name, Aeropunk. It's work in progress. Awesome. Yeah, sure. What do we think? So I played the last one as GDI. I feel like I should play as Nod now just to balance it out. Yeah, Shroomster free for all. I suspect it'll be chaos. As I said, my initial expectations was it was TeamBlack #1, just from his experience, and then Lunak, but maybe Lunak's taking the throne a little bit. I don't know. Hard to say for sure, you know. We have to play some more and suss it out offline. Okay. We go with we'll mix it up. We'll go with purple because we've seen a few different colors at this point. We've seen cyan, we've seen blue, all 2 colors, right? So purple, I think, is nice. Yeah. Sweet. Let's try it. So we got TeamBlack in the right hand corner, we got Pyro on the top, we got Max in the bottom left center, and me and Lunak are going random. You do love a crazy free-for-all, though you may not live long. Yeah, I share that. I don't recall offhand if you actually get to see full vision of the map once you've died, if you can like stay in it. I think that's the case, in which case it would be nice if we did drop out early. That's my excuse in advance. But it would be nice if we did drop out early, because then we can go spectate and see what the other players are doing and check out some of their kind of build orders or unit compositions and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, exactly, Shrimpster. It's been good fun though. Good fun.
Waiting orders.
Again, I can also use the excuse I'm playing Nod as my off faction, right? I think I'm in the very top center.
Construction complete.
I'm not sure what the Nod probs thing's about.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Unit ready.
Okay.
Unit ready.
Again, straight away jamming to the soundtrack.
Unit ready.
I'm just sending out a whole load of infantry to scout the map.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
I'll get a couple of rocket men in case one of the GDI players goes quick tech into jump jets, but I suspect they won't. Where is the eco? It must be back here, because it certainly isn't down this way, right? I really hope it's over here, because if not, we're gonna have a bad time. Cool map. Actually, I really like these pipe effects. I actually thought it was a bridge there for a second. It's pretty cool. We got another player's platform here. Reminds me a little bit of like Injustice or like Roctagon or a few of those maps I've seen in the remaster, where you've got like these individual platforms. You know where each player is. This guy can stop shooting. I need to use Q move a little bit more. That's just my playstyle. What is this? My harvest just going all the way down here, or did I just unlock this guy from a crate?
Unit armor upgraded.
Harvester Mac. Alright.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Very cool. Okay, so last time our issue was eco, so how about we go heavy eco, like heavy eco. We're gonna open with like no units almost whatsoever. We're gonna get 2 refs, 2 hires, and then we're just gonna spam a shit ton of bikes, maybe? Because we're Nod, right? That's what Nod likes to do. Sound like a plan? I think that's a solid plan. Bikes are, you know, all around good units. They shoot the air, they shoot the tanks. Not great against infantry, but I think it's unlikely we'll see mass infantry unless Lunak's playing GDI. Some nice blue tib there. Okay, okay. Do definitely need to get a radar up because I'm not familiar with the map whatsoever, so I have no idea what's where. We do have the bonus harvester we got from the crate, so our eco should be through the roof. Hopefully, anyway.
Construction complete.
Cool. And then we're going to spam a bunch of bikes. We'll queue up 10 to start with. Just 10, you know. So it looks like... Where am I? I'm actually on the right side of the map. I'm in the right middle, maybe? Because there's one here.
Unit lost.
I don't know. Maybe on the bottom left.
Unit lost.
It's a big map. I'm not used to these bigger maps. I'm sure it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
No problem.
We'll wing it. I'll cancel this because I might have enough actually to get this harvester out. Maybe? Maybe not. And we'll walk onto this crate.
Ready.
See if we get lucky.
Unit speed.
Oh, speed harvester upgrade. Hell yeah. These guys going all the way down here. I don't know. We'll let them do their thing, I guess. It's good to use multiple tib fields just in case. But I think going down to this stuff is better. So I might set up a ref back here.
Building.
So we'll get the radar here. Maybe a third ref?
Sir, no problem.
Seems kind of like a lot, but we do have queued up harvesters. It's a good sign.
Unit ready.
Sir, orders received. Moving out. Orders received. Yes, sir.
We'll
Moving
do
out.
some
Yes, sir.
Q move on this guy.
Ready.
Line up a bunch of moves, see how he gets.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy it.
Okay, so we got some vision. There's our friend TeamBlack. What else would I say? Wanted to get an extra ref up, build more of these. Actually, what I think I want to
On
do
hold. Cancel.
is get like 4
Cancel.
artillery
Building.
and then a bunch of tick tanks and then switch back to bikes. And like changing my mind here every 2 seconds, but that's fine.
On my way. On my way.
And what I can do actually is I can use a engineer inside. Let me
On hold.
cancel
Cancel.
these briefly.
On hold.
I can change my
Cancel.
mind every 2 seconds, but I can get a couple of
Cancel.
engineers
Building.
and capture these different things around the map. Then get these things. Okay.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Moving out. Sir. Awaiting orders. Moving out. On my way. Yes,
The
sir.
map looks, the
Orders
lighting
received.
effects and stuff look really
Unit
nice.
ready.
It has to be said.
Moving out.
Okay.
Engineering.
So here we're going to have our first engineer using the traveling capability of the nod buggy. What do we want to capture? What's a good? Like this is the only kind of thing I've seen that I can capture. I don't think it's owned by a player yet. It's glowing blue, but I think we might be okay. Don't know what that was. Hopefully nothing important. We're seeing it. Oh, it's multi-engineered, so I don't think I can capture this with one shot. I can, however, if I have, which I don't. I was gonna say if I have a vehicle, I could try come after this. Not sure if I capture this, I can build off it. I think usually it was balanced so that wasn't the case. Let's go around these units. Hopefully you didn't notice that. But if we could build off this would be pretty big, like a nice little stealth base.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
So maybe we'll get lucky. Can we build off this? No, but we do get huge power boost from that, which is should put an end to us ever needing to build a power plant again. Nice. Okay. Artillery. So we're finally going to get build some units. So you can see it's been quite a delay between like getting my eco up and running and actually being able to build units. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the ass. These guys long range binding. I don't know what the pathing is like here. It seems to be a little bit screwy. Do need to tech up, I suppose. What's a good? Could get some harpies, banshees, maybe.
Unit ready.
So yeah, so the player down here is the only one I'm really seeing much action from. Not really seeing a huge amount from the players these directions, so I'll set up the artillery here. It's actually a nice map for it with all the cliffs, so if he does start harvesting the tib down here, I'll unintentionally get hold of it. Also be able to do that. It's pretty cool. Maybe one of these on each of these 4 corners, make it like a nice campaign style base. You know, show it off a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Looks kind of nice, right? We should probably get some anti-air
Sir,
going.
moving
Oh,
out.
look at that.
Unit ready.
Okay, okay. It's quiet.
Yes, sir.
Might capture that power on the top right as well. Be nice, because again, I'm not familiar with the map. I don't know if there's any mutant
Construction complete.
capturable structures. Maybe there's something nice in the middle.
Unit reporting.
I'll send you
Moving out,
here.
sir.
Unit lost.
Oh no! So the Rockman here got my little transport dude. Caused the Tiberium is explosive a little bit there, as you saw too.
Unit
Unit,
ready.
sir.
It's worth noting.
Construction complete.
On my way.
This is pretty. I actually like this. This is awesome. And we're getting the SAM sites down. The big risk is that like this is super exposed. So if this dies, my power is just gone.
Unit ready.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's just. I guess 4 of these is more. No, 5 is too much.
Cancel.
Yes, sir.
Can he fit? Oh, because of my placement here, I can't quite get that one in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, we can put one here instead.
Construction
That's fine. Stealth generator is probably good considering the small radius of the base.
Unit ready.
Let's see what's going on. Just see if we can spot anything interesting on the map.
Unit reporting.
We'll move our war factory
Sir.
back to here.
Waiting orders.
Building.
Sir, moving out. Orders received. Orders received.
Interesting.
Unit reporting.
So even though the bases feel super exposed, once you get it set up like this, like your radius is actually out to like here. So it's quite a large capture area that you are in control of.
Unit
And
ready.
of course the tick tanks just to do like the damage to this any units that might pop
Ready.
in. What I don't have is a sensor array.
On hold.
Sir, moving out. Orders received.
Okay, okay.
Infantry reporting.
Yeah, so sensor array would be nice because it should capture the entire circumference of this. Meanwhile, he's got his stealth generator up already. Pyro's waiting to see someone. Everyone's too scared to attack. You can see it going on here as well. TeamBlack is getting the artillery set up. A lot of artillery. I thought I had a lot.
Yes, sir.
Something's outranging this or did some damage to it. We'll aim to put this like here. It's pretty nice. It's not covering everything, but they're going to know the harves are coming in and out here anyway. So that's not a huge loss.
Unit
Then we
ready.
want to get our Shrine and Nod so we can start teching up.
Unit ready.
Mobile sensor array. We want to keep these all like closer together. If you keep it around your Conyard, it's like kind of like a shield. So if he does pop up with a bunch of subterranean units, he'll have to get past these.
Unit ready.
Something hit this. Not sure what. Hey, Lib. How's it going? Cabal sounds like Ori1 Eva. Yeah, the nod sound effect is pretty nice.
Ready for action. Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
Awaiting orders.
Unit armor
Unit
upgraded.
ready. Moving out. Unit ready.
Building.
Unit reporting. Moving out.
I'll get a few more flamers because I don't know if I will get infantry rushed. Everyone's just kind of sitting back, chilling, you know, waiting for the other players to make a move.
Unit
I'm a little
ready.
afraid, particularly because Lunak seems to have a better idea of going on the offensive than most of us here. And I just know that it's going to hurt when he does.
Sir,
I'm kind of just letting my harvest do their thing. I'm trusting the harvester AI here, which is something that was patched semi-recently.
Unit ready.
And been behaving a little bit quirkily, but
Unit under attack.
you know, you can't live your life in fear. Sometimes you just have to go with it and hope for the best.
Unit lost.
Either way, I don't have a lot of
Cancel.
options here.
Unit ready. On hold.
So yeah, I'll hold off production now until I can tech up.
Yes, sir. Sir, sir, yes, sir.
Unit under attack.
Awaiting orders.
So you can see the siege turrets here from the opponents who are actually expanding inside of their main base.
Unit under attack.
I think with this structure I should be able to unlock the ability to build a connyard too, so I might try set one up over here.
Unit under attack. Unit
ready.
lost.
Yes,
This
sir.
guy's getting
Orders
absolutely
received.
wrecked. Pull back.
Sir, on my way. Unit ready.
So up here and around. No! Shit.
Cancel.
That's a problem. We're gonna need to fix our power situation quick.
Sir, no problem. Infantry reporting.
Unit ready. Construction.
This guy would be useful for repairing our tanks, etc. And you can see our power is way down now. Like that helped us a huge amount in terms of getting set up already, but yeah, whoever controls the Tib in this map is going to ultimately win.
Construction complete.
And I'm not doing a good job of trying to own it all at the moment, let's say. So I'm going to spam a bunch of power plants. Back in the green, okay, okay. I think I might be able to secure up there as like a nice little expansion. Provided I don't die here first.
Unit reporting. Awaiting orders.
Move the tick tanks over.
Infantry reporting.
This player being quite aggressive coming into me.
Yes, sir. Orders. Awaiting orders.
Should be able to hold this off. Nice. We didn't die first, boys. I'll take that as a win. I've thought a bit of cash. We should build some. I guess build some more artillery. They seem like super useful. And then we can like mobilize our army across the map. Try to find a good spot to put our connyard that's like defendable. Loads of Tib here. So maybe like up here. I think the gold player is here, so this is Pyro. Lunak. Max got the current max kills than Lunak. At least I forget. I just forget offhand the tech tree where this gives you a MCV. Hopefully it does. But yeah, I think like up here is a nice spot to put a connyard, then capture these.
Unit ready.
Unit reporting. Moving out.
I guess I should cancel these till I get this up. This is going to probably knock me low power too.
Unable to comply. Building
This big crater is annoying, taking up a lot of build space.
Construction option.
Yeah, there's our MCV. Alright, boys.
Building.
Better late than never, right? I can move down here, might be able to snipe this too. Then we'll knock him low power unexpectedly, be nice.
Construction complete.
And then tank wise, as soon as we have this down, I think a load of bikes. Just go for it. Hell of a lot of bikes. These things are well positioned, knocking out this guy's harvesters. This guy's got a little recon drone from a crate. Looks like we got another recon buggy here.
Insufficient funds.
Nice crate back here as well. Is there a player here? There is a player here, right? I'm not imagining things. Because there's none of this Tib being mined. If this is empty, I'm just going to take it with my MCV.
Unit speed upgraded.
Nice. This is just here, up for the grabs. It's just this little guy here in the way. Alright.
Infantry reporting. Moving out.
Okay, I guess this is gonna be our second expansion. Get a bunch of refs set up. Let's put the Conyard here, a bunch of refs here. Like 1, 2, 3 refs. Mine all of this. Of course, take out the bike here first. So much Tib shrimp. But where's all my where's all mine coming? This MCV is taking quite a while. 2.5k. A little bit expensive, but you know, you'd kind of expect it. Interesting thing will be if someone will try snipe it en route. I don't think there's anybody really keeping an eye on me over here, so it might be alright. Speaking of, let's snipe this. Or is this still under my control? Oh, this is still under my control? You kidding me? Let's just try not bring attention to it and leave it there. Maybe I can get to like a late game win scenario with just this standing. Oh, so close to being built. Come on. Is it built? It's built. It's built. Alright, let's get him over here. Yeah, they got bigger problems. They've got Lunak to deal with. So far he's been kind to us, so yeah. Cancel this. Get a whole bunch of bikes. Bikes just to be mobile and like quick to get in and out of these places to hold them. Yeah, Lunak might be. Are you watching his stream, Shrimp? Is he absolutely wrecking them? I suspect he might be absolutely wrecking them. Deploy? There we go. Yeah, yep, alright.
We are going to have to act if we want to live in a different world.
For the Act on Instinct remix. Classic. I think I need to halt unit production just for a while. Get my eco back up. I think I lost a bunch of halves down here to all the siege tank stuff. Yeah, they're still going. Just I feel maybe the MCV just took too much of my eco out. Not exactly, but he is kind in the way. Alright, alright. We can live with that. We can live with that. Ooh. Ooh. That's a nice one to keep in the back pocket. He's holding well. Nice. Nice.
We are going to have to act. We are going to have to act.
No! Need to get a Hananada quick. Oh, he's got the siege guy here. Shit. Nice. Hold the line. Busted, but hopefully we can pull it back. We're okay. We got some. I left some units here on purpose, and the Hana nods. It's actually encouraged me to reinforce this sooner than I was expecting to. So it's kind of done me a favor. I guess I can pop out flame men here now to deal with infantry. So it's really vehicles I need to worry about. So I think bikes are the best way to go. Building captured. I didn't capture a building. Capture a building? Did he capture this? He did. That's fine. Bit of a waste of an engineer since it's so damaged. I'm gonna set the rally point of this to here. Just so I can spam out and keep hold of a bunch of bikes. How are Harris doing? Harris here okay. This guy's doing alright. Okay, okay. No idea how this is going to end. Hey, Mangoes! Welcome on in. Hope you've been enjoying the streams. Myself, Orac, Lunak, I think Mark J. Fox is going to. I don't know if he managed to make it in time, sadly.
Sir? Yes, sir.
But we've had a lot of good games, a lot of fun,
Yes, sir.
fun matches showing off the mods. Where'd my harvester go from this ref, by the way?
Unit
Did he
moving out.
just
Yes,
yeet
sir,
himself?
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Orders received. Out.
Catch
Sir.
some of these crates while
Yes, sir. Out.
we're waiting.
Unit ready.
This harvester die? Did he get it? He must have used his infantry to take it out. Damn it. Ooh, what's this? Amphibious transport.
Unit ready. On my way, sir.
No water on this map, so that's not of much use to us. Let's see, want to like build like 5 elite. Oh, we could build. Ooh, do you know what we could do? I haven't actually tried this. I could put hijackers in this and take his harvesters. That could be an interesting thing to try to do. But his harvesters need to not be in a place where they're getting shot.
Unit ready.
Is this a cloaked bike?
Unit on my way.
Oh my god, this guy got like a cloak crate.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Sweet.
Yes, sir. Orders received. On
Watch
my
me
way
quickly
now.
proceed to lose the cloak bike.
On
I'm
hold.
gonna cancel my bikes and build a bunch of harves.
Orders received. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Construction complete. Building.
Sir.
Yeah, they did. Damn,
Unit reporting.
they got that
Orders
harvester.
received. Waiting orders. Moving out. Orders
Structure
received. Yes, sir.
sold.
Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Orders received. Infant got it. Unit ready.
Let's have a look at the
Sir.
scores real quick.
Orders received. Awaiting orders. Orders received. Orders received. Yes, sir. Orders received. Moving out.
Nice little
Orders
promotion.
received.
Okay, we're second to last. That's fine.
Moving
Unit
out.
ready.
Orders received. Orders received.
Here's
Yes,
Pyro's
sir.
base, right? Pyro's orange. Oh, it's Orac's
On my
base.
way.
Okay.
Moving out.
Ah, you're in the Discord too. Jeez,
Yes, sir.
Shrimp, you're
Orders
everywhere.
received. On my way.
Unit
Moving
lost.
out.
Oh, well, that's just. Wow. It's mean. So I'm gonna have to get anti-air set up here now. I can also sell this because I'm not actually taking a huge amount of benefit from having that up.
Unit ready.
Wow, that flamer's got huge range if he can reach that. Wow, okay.
Ready for action. Unit on my way. Infantry ready for action. On my way. Moving out. Yes, sir. On my way.
Construction complete. Building.
Ready for action. No problem. Sir.
Orders received.
No problem.
Unit. Yes, sir.
Here you can see the elite cadre doing the
Construction complete.
that little splash damage attack. Super effective.
Awaiting. Yes, sir.
At least here.
Received.
Unit lost.
Awaiting. Yes, orders. Sir.
And a little bit
Unit moving out. Sir.
stop starty, but
Unit reports.
hopefully we can take this. I don't actually know what's good at taking this guy out. I'm gonna try these little pop-up laser turrets and hope.
Select target.
Use a little EMP here. We're gonna actually be able to stop these guys from shooting at us for a little bit.
Unit ready. Yes, sir. You got it.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There we go.
Unit
That'll delay it
lost.
for a little bit.
Waiting. On my, sir.
Feels pretty nice.
On hold. Unable to comply.
Oh, these are
Moving
dead.
progress. On hold.
Yeah, that's not good.
Building.
Get a few SAM sites up. I think I need to get a bunch of artillery set up at this location to better hold it.
Construction complete.
Cancel these.
Cancel.
And get a bunch of these anti-air rocket troopers.
Construction complete.
The thing is,
Ready.
I'm not sure how effective these anti-air structures really are, to be honest, in practice. So
Unit
I
ready.
guess we'll find out.
Waiting order now, sir.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
We'll find out together. I should also build a weapons factory here.
Unit ready. Construction complete. Unit ready.
Templar Nod.
Cancel.
No, I'm kind of focusing on the low tier stuff, just to have good eco and like low tier structures.
Unit ready.
Orders received.
So you can see here, they already kind of shoot their missiles off and do the damage by the time they get shut down. But at least it won't be cheap for them.
Moving out. On my way, sir. Moving out. Moving out. You got it.
Ready for action. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Unit ready. Moving out.
No! No! Oh, no! God damn it! Oh. Oh, that was so good. Ah. Wow. All right. Well, that was a fun demonstration of how free for all can go. Like, obviously, as you were saying, like we're all from like cross continents, so the servers are a little bit sketchy, but. I think, where was I? Like, TeamBlack is on the right. I'm still not entirely sure which one of those spawn points I was on. I was somewhere on the right hand side. Maybe I thought it was where TeamBlack is, but I think that's where I expanded to. So spot 2, maybe? I don't know. I was so close to TeamBlack. Yeah, I suspect he was probably there. Thanks for game, guys. GG. That was awesome. Yeah, that I guess is gonna do it for us. Thanks very much, guys. I'll drop Orac a raid because he's going to be doing some, as I said, artwork stuff for the game with TeamBlack. So I think he's going to be making a cameo for the Genesis structure. So if you want to have an idea for how that looks, I'm actually kind of interested to check that out. So I'll drop him a raid now. So we're going to head on over there. But thanks everyone for joining. It was a lot of fun. We got to see the GDI mirror. We got to see the nod mirror. That was a lot of fun. We also got to see a free-for-all team game. So we could test out a bunch of the different multiplayer aspects. Cheers very much for that, Blizzard. Appreciate it. The VOD for this will probably hop up on YouTube. And I'm sure that Orac stuff will be going up on the official YouTube account for Tiberian Odyssey, which I linked earlier in chat. Again, you can go to their project, their ModDB section if you want to download the game, check out links to their Discord and all their important stuff. It's all there. But for now, I'm going to just drop the raid and drop the love back to Mainland himself. So thanks very much for hanging out, dudes. And take it easy.
Excuse me. Make sure that 3ds Max wants to stream.